What is up, everyone? Welcome back, and today we're going to be breaking down the tank class in Overwatch. Alright, we're going to break down each character. First one is going to be Diva. Diva has the fusion cannon's automatic short-range spread weapon. She has a light gun, which is an automatic weapon. Her ultimate is self-destruct to eject and overload your mech, causing it to explode after a short period of time. Her other quote-unquote ultimate is she can call her mech down if she's out of her mech. She has the boosters that fly in a direction you are facing. Defense matrix blocks projectiles in an area in front of you. Micro missiles launches a volley of explosive rockets. And her passive, she ejects out of her mech when it is destroyed. So here's Diva's primary. Not like a ton of damage, but decent damage over time. She has her rocket boots. Her rocket jump, rocket. She has rockets that allows her to fly in whatever direction she faces. She has Defense Matrix, which eats each projectile damage from enemies. She has the rockets that she can shoot. And then when all of your health goes away, you will lose your mech, and then you'll become, as we know, Baby Diva. And with this, she has just a regular blaster, and you can build up to your ultimate, and you call your mech back. And building to call mech is much faster than building a regular ultimate. And then her ultimate is the Diva Bomb, where you can fly and launch your bomb. And it'll do a big blast damage, and then you can get your mech back right away. You don't have to build it up there. And those are the basics for Diva. Next we have Orisa. Now I will say these are all Overwatch 1 breakdowns. Some of these characters, especially Orisa, have been reworked in Overwatch 2, so she does not play the same, but we're still going to break her down anyways. She has the fusion driver non-mech projectile weapon, slows Orisa while firing. Both is a super charge, deploy device that increases damage inflicted by allies. Protective barrier, throw device that creates barrier, floor device, reduce damage taken each stop. Halt is launching graviton charge, then detonating with the sphere. The sphere explodes and pulls the damage. That will break down Orisa, she has change. This is how it was information. The primary, then grabs pulls, she has shield, she has fortify, which allows her to take less damage. Then she has supercharger, which will allow you and allies in the area to damage. Again, pretty much this, she's completely reworked shield. We'll cover that when I have a hand over. Next we have Reinhardt. He has a rocket hammer, a devastating melee weapon. His ultimate is Earth Shatter, knock down all enemies in front of you. Charge forward and smash all enemies against a wall. Fire Strike, launch a fiery projectile. Barrier Shield, deploy a frontal energy barrier, and his passive is resistant to knockback effects. Serious primary, it's a big old hammer, does a lot of damage, but you have to be really close. Then he has his charge effect. He'll charge you and pin you into a wall, and if you pin against the wall, it does extra damage. If you pin into the wall, it does damage. He has the Fire Strike, and then he also has the ginormous shield that has a lot of health. And then his ultimate has his Earth Shatter ability, knocks down opponents in the way. And those are the basics of Reinhardt. Next we have Roadhog, everyone's favorite character. He has the scrap gun, short range spread weapon, or a medium range spread weapon. His ultimate is whole hog, damage and knockback enemies in front of you. He has chain hook, drag a targeted enemy to you, and take a breather, heal yourself, and reduce damage taken over a short time. So his primary, he has the medium range, which is the right click, or he has the short range, which is left click. Does a ton of damage right in your face, but doesn't do much if you're from any distance away. Then he has his hook. You can hook enemies, pull them to you, and then it's over from there. His other ability is take a breather. Just has a ton of healing he can do to himself. And his ultimate is whole hog. It just damages and pushes people back. And those are the basics of Roadhog. Now we have Sigma, my personal favorite tank. He has the Hyperspheres, launch two charges which implode after a short duration, dealing damage in an area. He has Gravitic Flux, manipulate gravity to lift enemies into the air and slam them back on the ground. He has Kinetic Grasp, absorb projectiles in front of you and convert them into shield. His accretion, gather a mass of debris and throw it at an enemy and knock them down. And he has experimental barrier. Hold to propel a floating barrier. Release to stop. Press again to recall the barrier to you. So here's his primary damage. Little spheres that you can throw off a wall and hit people, or you can just throw it directly at them and hit them. He also has his shield, which will block some damage. Not as strong as Ryan's, but pretty good. And I can pull that back whenever I want to. He has grasp, which when you take it will build shield, so I went up to 410 health there as opposed to 400. And I didn't take that much damage. And then he also has accretion. Big old rock to throw. And here is his flux. He'll pick up anyone in the circle, lift them up, and then throw them back on the ground. And those are the basics of Sigma. Next we have Winston. He has the Tesla Cannon, electric frontal cone weapon. He has ultimate primal rage. Gain immense health, but you can only leap and punch enemies. Jump pack, leap forward into the air, landing on an enemy damages them. And barrier projector, deploy a protective energy dome. So here's his primary. Doesn't do a ton of damage, but you know, over time it will tickle. Tickle does the job. He has his leap effect, which also will do damage when he lands. And then he also has his shield. And then he has his primal rage. Gets a lot of health, gets super mad. All he can do is punch and jump. And those are the basics for Winston. Next we have Wrecking Ball, also known as just Hammy. He has quad cannons, automatic assault weapons. He has his ultimate is Minefield, deploy a massive field of proximity mines. Grappling Claw, launch a Grappling Claw to rapidly swing around an area, enables high-speed collisions to damage and knock back enemies. He has Roll, transform into a ball, increase maximum movement speed. He has Pile Driver, slam it to the ground below to damage and launch enemies upward. He has Adaptive Shield, create temporary personal shields. Amount increases with more enemies nearby. So here's the primary fire of Hammy. Does pretty good damage. Here is him turning into ball mode. And these kind of all work in unison, but so as he's in ball mode, he can use his grapple, he can launch up, and then he can hold button down to ground pound. He also has a little shield mode, which gives him extra health for a short amount of time. He also can knock back with his grapple. Can knock you around a little bit, if I can even show it. I can't. Okay. He also can knock you while he's in his grapple. He can knock people off, and then pile drive again does more damage. And then his ultimate ability is the minefields. You throw those in a bunch of little balls. And this is really good for people. He can turn into this and knock them around and make them hit the mines and kill them. And those are the basics of Hammy. Or Hammond. Or Wrecking Ball, whatever you want to call him. And last but not least, we have Zarya. She has the particle cannon, short range linear beam weapon, energy grenade launcher. Her ultimate is a graviton surge. Launch a gravity well that pulls enemies into it. The particle barrier, create a damage barrier around you. Projected barrier, create a damage barrier around an ally. And passive energy, damage blocked by barriers, increase particle cannon damage. So her primary, her laser pointer, or she can turn into a ball and do a little grenade damage. Now she has the two bubbles, one she throws on allies, and one she can put over herself. And you can see the little number in the middle near her crosshair goes up when those bubbles take damage. That directly affects how much damage she does. The more number that goes up, the more damage she can do. And then her ultimate is the Graviton Surge. Pulls people all in one little area, they can't leave it. And those are the basics of Zarya. And that is all the tanks we have in Overwatch 1. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Hope this was helpful. And next video, we'll be covering all of the DPS characters. So if you liked it, please leave a like, subscribe, comment. And I hope you all are excited for Overwatch 2. We are just a couple days away. You guys have a good one. I'll see you guys in the next one.